Kepe Martin's Keppe, whichever way you want to put it, it's fine. I'm from Boya. I hesitate to use the word that I'm an entrepreneur. I basically work in real estate, construction, as well as I run a tech startup. So I'll be talking about leaving the comfort zone. It's a very broad topic, but I'll try and focus on entrepreneurship. I'm not here to tell you what you already know. I think everybody already understands what the comfort zone is. Comfort zone, nothing grows in the comfort zone. In a comfort zone, there is, I would equate it to lack of ambition. Ambition to me is not about wanting to grow a multi-million-dollar business. It's basically about the action, the steps you take towards achieving that. One of the speakers earlier talked about daring. I think it's Mr. Roland. He talked about daring. And basically, for most of us who are here, I believe that we all have one interest, one goal: entrepreneurship, investment, building a business, building a sustainable business. And that's not going to happen if you're not willing to make that bold step. Throughout today, watching the other speakers, the other contestants, the questions that the panelists have been asking, I can conclude that one of the major themes of this event is about resilience. And for you to be a successful entrepreneur, you need an awful amount of resilience, especially as we can all relate from the first story by Reverend. I'll be giving you guys a little bit of my experience with Vorite. So I mentioned earlier that I run a tech startup. It's called Vorite. Vorite is a ride-sharing platform which connects passengers and passengers and car owners who are heading in the same direction. So Vorite has been running now, it's been operational since October 2020. But trust me, before we actually launched, Vorite had been in the lab for close to 2 years. Actually, it's an idea I had a very, very long time ago. I'm talking about 2015. I was in France for some time, and I found myself in a situation where I had just missed the train because I was traveling to another city. I was traveling actually from Lyon to Paris. I missed the train, and the next train ticket was extremely expensive. So I called a friend and said, le covoiturage, you know. So he told me about it, and I downloaded this app, and I used it, and I said to myself, wow, this is fantastic, you know. I think this is a very relevant problem in Cameroon as well. So when I came back, between 2015, 2016, 17, 18, so many things held me back. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm into real estate, I'm into construction, and I asked myself, like, why do I need to do this? Yes, I want to solve a problem, because to me, that's what keeps me going as an entrepreneur. I'm a problem solver. I don't run away from challenges. I always, you know, when I see a challenge, I go right for it, because it enables me to learn as well. One reason or the other, I had a lot of self-doubt. The first thing was, will I be able to find the time? But then again, I read a lot, and time really is not an excuse if you manage it properly. I asked questions about being able to deliver. Is this thing going to work in Cameroon? Of course, when I started doing research, I came across my first partner. There are actually 3 of us behind Vorite. I handle the marketing and operations. So I came across the first partner who's a data scientist and is a software developer. and he's not my friend, but we happen to have a mutual friend. And when we talked about this thing, we realized we were both extremely passionate about this. And we're like, guy, we need to make this happen. We need to make this happen. But we realized that for such a platform to work in Cameroon, there are so many challenges. So it was a very systematic approach. One of the first things here was, okay, I want to do this, I want to start this idea. For me to start this idea, I need to evaluate myself. So I did a SWOT analysis on myself. The SWOT analysis on myself enabled me to discover who exactly I am. SWOT analysis, for those who don't know, we're talking about the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and the threats. I identified my strengths, I identified my weaknesses, I identified opportunities and threats. Now, for me, SWOT analysis, I have an approach when I'm dealing with SWOT. The strengths and weaknesses for me are the internal aspects. The opportunities and threats are external aspects, things you have absolutely no control over. However, in terms of opportunities, I strongly believe that opportunities need preparation. Now this is the first step. I've done the SWOT analysis. This is an exercise of self-awareness. For me to be able to partner with someone, I need to know his strengths and his weaknesses. Because I'm not going to partner with someone who shares the same strengths and weaknesses with me. We don't complement each other. We're just going to be wasting our time. I liked his profile. We looked at our CVs, and he's like, no, this guy, you know, he has a background in business management and accounting, project management, marketing. Now, this guy is good. I looked at him and I'm like, he's a software developer. He's all about tech. He's all about data. And I really found his profile very attractive. So we decided to make a move. And we got into a partnership. I'm not going to go into the details because trust me, it's going for hours. But the whole point of this is when you decide to leave your comfort zone, there are so many things you have to take into consideration. I basically sat here and listened thoroughly to all the contestants. And it was very interesting, but one thing that stood out for me was the lack of adequate research. It's constructive. It's not, I mean, most of the pitches were very good, but I think that most of you, especially when asked by the judges about regulatory ministry or body or whatever, I think a lot of you fell short of actually answering the question. And that was a reflection of not knowing what you're going into, or not doing enough research of what you're trying to achieve. When you're trying to leave the comfort zone, that's literally the first step. You need to have a roadmap of where you're going. You need to have a full vision. You have a full vision. All right, I need to get to Yaoundé from here. For me to be able to get to Yaoundé, I'm going to have to pass. I don't know Douala very well, but I believe I'm going to have to go through Aqua, and then at some point find myself around the airport, heading towards Village. You need to have a step-by-step roadmap. So you want to go into pharmaceuticals, or I'll just use your example, tea, herbal tea. You need to understand, for me to be able to do this business, am I complying with the regulations? If I was to advise, that's literally the first thing I would do. Because when we started with All Rights, before I even went about looking for a partner, I went to the Ministry of Transport. And I made sure that I had all my information absolutely correct. Because I'm not about to turn back. I don't like going forward and having to come behind. But there's something, it's not always straightforward. One of the speakers earlier talked about agility. It's another aspect of reacting to challenges, reacting to, when things don't go to plan. How dynamic are you? As an entrepreneur, when you're stuck to a routine, When you stop to routine, routines are nice because they help you establish habits. But there's a balance. When there's so much of a routine, it limits creativity, it limits innovation, it limits your willingness to dare. And by so doing, you find yourself in a situation where you are scared to take risks, which is another thing that limits what keeps most people in their comfort zone. A lot of us are scared of rejections. A lot of us are scared of, what makes us uncomfortable. Well, one thing is certain. I don't know if anyone knows Steve Harvey. He's someone I watch a lot, and it's very, very. I got a call on Monday that I'll be presenting here, and you cannot make this up. When I received that call, I was actually watching a video of Steve Harvey talking about comfort zone, and there was something he said. For you to grow, for you to leave the comfort zone, everybody talks about comfort zone, but not many people are willing to put in the work. But for you to grow, you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You cannot eat your cake and have it. If you want to grow your business, you need to be aware that you're going to have to do extra time. You're going to have to work on Sundays. There's no weekend. There's no thank God it's Friday. Because if you have employees, you have the sort of employees who, leave at 5 p.m. whether they've finished doing their work or not. Anyway, that's down to your management style. For me, the way I work, if you've not finished your work, even if it's 8 p.m., we're all in the office. But that's a different story. I don't want to go outside. The whole point of this, being uncomfortable means putting in the required amount of work. It means meeting people. It means networking. That's actually one of the reasons I came here. The Shirlm show, I only heard about the Shirlm show about 3 weeks ago. I saw a couple of people on social media. And when I dug in, I realized that it's something that I'm particularly very interested in. Because I spend my time watching shows like, I don't know if anyone knows the Dragon's Den, because I'm always interested in listening to entrepreneurs speak. I don't watch entrepreneurs because I want to get copy their ideas or no. It's a way of understanding how people think, which is another aspect of the comfort zone. Because for you to leave your comfort zone as an entrepreneur, you have to meet people. Mr. Robert, yes, he was talking about key skills as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, and he talked about negotiation. I couldn't stress on that even more. Now, the point of negotiation is understanding I'll use the word proponent. If you're trying to negotiate a business deal, for example, you have to be able to understand the person you're talking to, how they think, their thought process. And you only get that when you're used to talking to people from different walks of life. Sometimes go out of your circle, meet people, different ages, different age groups. It also helps you as a communicator. It also helps you as a marketer, as a sales, representative, whatever. Because when you're doing your business, you are the marketer, you are the sales rep, you are the accountant, you're a little bit of everything. So shows like this I actually love a lot, with workshops like this, because it encourages you to learn key skills that are needed to run a business. In order not to exceed time, with Vorites, going back to Vorites, of course we launched in October last year, and we faced a lot of issues. at the time of launching. We are still facing issues. Because I'm very sure not a lot of you here know about Vorite. But in the same time, we've had a lot of positive, what I would call small wins. At the time when we launched Vorite, we know it's a new concept, it's in Cameroon, you know. Year one, we're targeting 5,000 users. As of June, in fact, at the time of speaking, Vorite, we have 3,500 users. We have over 200 offered rides. Vorite is a platform, for those who don't know, for those who are hearing again, Vorite is a platform that connects passengers and users and car owners who are heading the same direction. For example, from here I'll be going back to Goya. Offer the ride that I'm heading to Goya. From my phone, I see that there are two people who already booked rides to be able to go up to me. But at the time, I offered the ride to leave at 3 p.m. So I had to reschedule. Normally, I wasn't supposed to be speaking now, but I had to put some pressure on the organizers just to make me talk a little bit earlier. But what's the whole aim behind this? For the contestants, for everyone who's here, like I said, we all have a common goal: entrepreneurship, building a profitable business, building a sustainable business, creating employment, solving the problem of unemployment in Cameroon. It's a very big problem. It's not a, we're not going to solve, the Shirlm is not going to solve unemployment in Cameroon by itself. It's a collective effort. Just imagine, I don't know how many people are here, let's say we're about 100 here, and over the next 5 to 10 years, people create companies or businesses that employ 5 to 10 employees. It's massive. But for us to be able to do that, we have to leave the comfort zone. Because, say life is not a bed of roses, but entrepreneurship, I can guarantee you, is a bed of thorns. You're going to encounter challenges on a daily. It's either you're dealing with your financial records, you're dealing with regulations, you're dealing with employees, and trust me, employees will challenge you. Some people will challenge you. If you're the kind of boss who's scared of talking to people, who's scared of confrontation, you're going to have all of that. You're going to have all of that. As you know, we are into construction. Outside of Vorite, I'm into construction, I'm into real estate. And actually, I'll share my contacts because we are actually recruiting for a human resources manager and a financial accountant. And one of the key things that I look for in employees is leadership. Because the more leaders you have in your company, in your businesses, the more your business is going to scale. If you're bringing in people who are going to come and sit and listen to instructions, then you are doing for failure. Guaranteed. If you bring in people who are going to challenge you, I personally like to work with people who are smart. I'm not the most intelligent person, but I like to work with people who challenge my thinking. I'm not intelligent, or I'm not the most intelligent, I'm not Einstein, definitely, but I'm extremely curious. So when talking to me, I'm going to ask a lot of stupid questions. But it's for me, for both of us to understand that we're on the same page. So, I want to thank the Shirlm show organizers for having me here. It's been a fantastic experience so far, and thank you.